in the mixer out instead. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
And welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Well, shooting opportunity. Oh, it's brilliant. Morrison, goal! Good afternoon. Welcome to Cardiff City TV and a very happy new season to you. I'm delighted to say that me and JP here today, and also there's a slew of Cardiff City fans back in this stadium, and my word, does it make a difference. It took me an hour longer than it should have to get to the game here today, which is why everything's a bit of a rush, but also it makes for an atmosphere, and my word, we've missed that in the last 18 months.
We have, Ash. It's good to see everybody back. It almost feels like normal, dare I say it, and people walk into the ground today, seeing the shirt, seeing the mums and dads with the kids, and this is what football and all of sport is about. And of course, we will remember today. It's been a torrid time during COVID. A lot of people have lost significant others, and we shall never forget that. But it's nice to have a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and that's certainly what today feels like.
Yeah, football's done a remarkable job, hasn't it, the last 18 months of anchoring some kind of normalcy. So the fact that we are back in here, in amongst Cardiff City fans again, feels like a really special occasion.
It does, and I do think football did a good job, and I know football gets a bad press. You see the transfer fees this week talked about, and I can understand that, but I think football was important to give a focal point for people, for something to look to at a weekend or a Tuesday night, and we were a small part of that, and that was an honour and a privilege, obviously. So I'm glad it's over, though, or I'm glad it's getting to be over, and to see a lot of Cardiff City fans and Barnsley fans, of course, in this stadium today. Football is back where it needs to be.
And the Blues are back where they should be here at Cardiff City Stadium, and Mick McCarthy's first opportunity this afternoon to name a Bluebird side, so they're going to come out of the tunnel down beneath us and be welcomed by the roar of the home fans. He's been hamstrung a little bit this summer, but he's also been hamstrung in terms of his team selection this afternoon. But we can confirm that the starting 11 for this afternoon's season kick-off against Barnsley is as follows. So it's Dylan Phillips who's got the nod in goals ahead of Alex Smith. He's no place for Sean Morrison, the skipper, this afternoon. He's not quite ready to start games after only making one appearance in pre-season. So it's summer signing Mark McGuinness that joins captain for the day Aidan Flint and Curtis Nelson in the back line. Perry G gets the nod at right wing back. Joe Bagan's position is nailed down at the moment at left wing back. And talk about normalcy. Number 8 Joe Rolls back in the midfield area, anchoring that midfield alongside Marlon Pack, and a slightly new look front three, because it's Ryan Giles and James Collins, the newbies, in there alongside Leandro Bacuna. Bit of chopping and changing, but I think the phrase that's been used a lot, certainly this week ahead of this, is a blend of youth and experience.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, first of all, by that team. I actually I watched last week's game against Newport County as a fan. You always feel more assured when Sean Morrison's on the pitch. I didn't think he looked match fit, and that's because he's missed a lot of football and he's missed a lot of pre-season. So to ease him back, and I think the bonus there is McGuinness has played so well in pre-season and really put his hand up to be counted, that Mick McCarthy doesn't have to throw Sean Morrison back in. So I don't think that's a bad shout. I think the bonus of pre-season, or the real plus of pre-season for me, has been the shape, has been Mick McCarthy working on the shape, and a lot of these players have worked in that shape. I think Joel Bacon has been very, very good. As you say, it's a nice mix of youth and experience. Marlon Pack and Joe Rawls will be veteran presence in the middle of the park, and we're all excited about Ryan Giles, about what he can provide for James Collins, and at a latter point for Kiefer Moore. So I've seen some doom and gloom, but I think we've got to realise the fact we're in a post-COVID world. I think the fact that every club has got to cut their cloth accordingly, and I think this team that goes out there today for Cardiff City will be an organised team. I think it'll be a disciplined team. It'll be a hard team to break down, and I think they've got a little bit of that magic dust in the likes of Giles that can break this game open.
And let's focus on the positive a minute, because yeah, there are reasons for concern. There's pessimism, of course there is. It's the first day of the season. It's championship football. We know how difficult it's going to be. But this is a team without Sean Morrison, without Kiefer Moore from the start. Both are on the bench, incidentally. But there are replacements for them this season, where last year that really wasn't the case. Mark McGuinness starts, James Collins starts. One of those has an awful lot of experience of scoring goals at the championship level.
I thought James Collins was a very clever pickup. It was done early, the business was done early. You and I spoke about it at the time. He's probably coming in here with a little bit to prove in the fact that he knows Kiefer Moore's the main man, the fact that Luton have just released him. Everyone's expecting him to be the backup to Kiefer Moore. Well, if he is, what a fantastic and experienced backup he is. If Kiefer Moore needs a rest, he can go in there, and I don't think Cardiff City really miss a beat. And of course, there's been talk of the two of them playing together, and I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility. So, for a free transfer and a man that Nick McCarthy knows well from the Republic of Ireland setup, I thought that was a very clever piece of business by the Bluebirds.
Yeah, he's had a very shrewd summer. Mick McCarthy, don't take it from me, take it from the captain, Sean Morrison, who called this signings astute this week. But first of all, let's hear from the gaffer himself. This is what Mick McCarthy had to say a couple of days ago.
I tell you one thing, the pleasure of pre-season, I'm not so sure that is the way I describe it. Actually, I guess it's nice to be here for a pre-season because at least you can get your own stuff and foundations and what you want to do laid down. But it's a process pre-season, just getting lads fit and hoping to come through for the game on Saturday. Everything that we've done, they're fit and ready to go. Are we in a good place? Yeah, I think we are. We've got a lot of players back. Not got too many injuries. There's some who have not gone through the full pre-season, so not quite as ready as others. But in the main, we are where we want to be. We'll be strong, whatever team's out. We've got some that are still coming back. It depends what anybody wants to put on full strength team. We've got a really good first team that'll be playing on Saturday, and hopefully then we've got some who will be around the squad and there for Tuesday, and they're not going to be too long. Maybe back for the second, maybe third league game. You always want to do as well as you can. I've seen a couple of Barnsley's games, but anybody else, I've not seen anybody. I don't know who's going to be the form teams. I guess the teams that come down. There's some that just missed out on the promotion last year that you always fancy them. They'll still be up. But we were there and thereabouts. We had a spell where I thought we might get into the playoffs, and that's where we've got to be aiming at least. Listen, playing at Cardiff has always been tough. I've been here with teams. I've been to Ninian Park and I've been here. And when the fans get behind them, they do make it tough for you. And I'm looking forward to that, I have to be honest.
Cardiff manager Mick McCarthy there talking this week ahead of what's set to be his first game as Bluebirds manager in front of fans at the Cardiff City Stadium. The atmosphere is built in. We haven't been able to say that. It's a lot easier for segues, this. The atmosphere is built in here at Cardiff City Stadium. We are, what are we looking at, 20 minutes from kick-off of this championship kick-off. And yeah, there's a lot of trepidation, as there always is, but a lot of good feeling as well. But a lot of the trepidation will be around the fact that we're playing a good Barnsley team last year, one who had a very good season, finished 5th, bludgeoned their way into the playoffs, but have changed managers and potentially might change styles. We just don't know.
We don't. Viewers of this, and Ash, I love the local press. I love reading local press, and the Yorkshire Post were speculating that in pre-season it's been a return more to pass and move football, and it also looks like they're going to go 3 up top, or certainly that's what Captain Corley Woodrow was talking about in his press conference during the week. They were the surprise package last year, and all credit to them. And but that's a body blow, losing Valerian Ismail, and watching his West Bromwich Albion team last night, you can see they're going to play the same way, just high press, high intensity, full of energy, and he's got slightly, dare I say it, better players to do it. So not sure what to expect from Barnsley today. Expect a team who wants to put the ball on the floor and play it. Dare I say it again, I think a team that could be bullied potentially by Cardiff City, and that's not to say that Cardiff City won't attempt to play football. I think they're a little light in midfield, particularly after losing Alex Mowat, who a huge loss. And again, I thought he was very good last night for West Bromwich Albion. So not sure what Barnsley will do this season. Can they carry the momentum through, Ash? If they do, well, they can get there again. They can be there or thereabouts. If they don't, I fear they might be sort of a 10-position deficit for them, and they might find themselves come the post-Christmas months in a relegation battle.
We saw the both faces of Barnsley last year, so the game at Cardiff City Stadium where we absolutely battered them was Valérien Ismaël's first away game in charge. He'd just taken over. They were still trying to play good, positive, attacking football. We saw them then on Mick McCarthy's first game in charge, and they had completely abandoned that. It was all about the high press, high intensity, direct balls down the channel. Not a million miles away from the type of football that Neil Warnock and at times Neil Harris like to play. So we saw both faces of Barnsley. You'll be interested to see who we come up against this afternoon.
It will be, and I think people get criticised for this. People call it direct football, but I've spoken to you enough about it. If it's direct football with a purpose, it can be effective, and that purpose is balls into the channel, turning defenders, and then if that press is good, which it was from Barnsley last year, it was exceptionally good as the season went on, you can win the ball back in high areas. Then you can play a little football, you can get crosses into the box. So when people talk about direct football, they almost talk about it sometimes as an abusive statement or a critical statement. If it's done with a purpose, it can be effective, and Barnsley certainly were effective. I expect them to be a little bit different today. I expect them to try and get the ball down and play it. And again, because of their lack of depth, I think, particularly in midfield, and I'm surprised that Summer signing Josh Benson isn't playing from Burnley, because I think he's got the quality to put his foot on the ball and run that area. So surprised he's on the bench. I think Cardiff City can get amongst them, and I think Cardiff City can bully them today.
The interesting change in the Barnsley lineup, Callum Stiles, one of the standout operators as a left wing back in his 18 months at the club as a first team starter, now reverts into the central midfield area, essentially being that Erstadt Alex Mowat replacement. So they haven't gone out and spent the money, they've reinvested elsewhere, and they've repurposed Stiles, who's still only 21, which is incredible. He's gone back to playing a central midfield role that he did as a teenager.
Quality footballer, pressure on his shoulders, replacing Mowat, who really was the heartbeat of that team. And as I say, I don't think the manager has spoken about needing more bodies through the door. That's certainly not in attacking positions, because they've got a plethora of attacking options, as no doubt we'll discuss, and on commentary as well. But I think in the midfield area, they haven't got a lot of depth there. So for that pressure on Stiles to play a 46-game season maybe and be the driving force, he's capable of doing it. But I do wonder whether the mental side of his game is quite there yet to be the driving force in that side. But in terms of their summer acquisitions, they have brought those forward players in. Ash, they will play with three up top. They will look to, I think, get in and around the three centre halves of Cardiff City and look to get on the shoulder. There's pace and power there, so don't rule them out. They're a dangerous outfit. But again, I just come back to the fact that I think they've, in manager and captain, they've really lost the heartbeat of their team. And
finally, for me, there seems to be a lot of sniffiness about the Championship this season. A lot of people looking from the outside in, suggesting that it might be a very, very weak division. For me, as a Championship aficionado, it looks like, there's a bit of wordplay there, I'm going to work on that. It looks for me like there's a very, very strong core four of the three relegated teams, and Bournemouth, who we saw last night, will be the closest rivals, in my opinion, and then everybody else battling for two remaining playoff places. How do you see the Championship?
I would concur fully with that. Talking to my Cardiff City friends, I think Cardiff City, in terms of their discipline, setup, and how Mick McCarthy accumulates points, it won't always be pretty. It won't always be pretty, and I think we're honest enough to accept that. I expect Cardiff City to be somewhere between 6th and 10th, and I say that with the fact that if you can get on a little bit of momentum, those two places, and I completely agree with you, I think there are two playoff places up for grabs. I think the top four will be quite predictable, but I think Cardiff City have an opportunity, along with probably 8 to 10 other clubs, to gain those other two places. What we do know, Ash, it's going to be another roller coaster ride.
It will be indeed. That's it from me and John. Thankfully, one man who's a little bit more positive than either of us, and that was Cardiff captain Sean Morrison, because he spoke to the press via Zoom this week, and he was saying the promotion is very, very much the order of the day.
It's been a tough 18 months, 16 months since we've had a full capacity stadium, or, like you said, a large crowd. Yeah, very excited. It was nice to be part of the game on Saturday at Newport, against Newport, where obviously we had 7,000-8,000 in. Just being able to hear the fans again when you walk out, when you're warming up, You've got that buzz around the stadium. So if we have like you said, a bumper crowd on the weekend to welcome us back for the first game of the season, it'll be incredible. And I'm sure as players, we're going to thrive off that. Look, it's going to be a hard game. I think Barnsley last season in both fixtures we played them was probably physically two of the hardest games. They worked harder than any team we had played against, hands down. The way they press, the way they try and win the ball back, and once they've got possession of the ball, they flip it down the sides of the channels, they chase it. They don't give you a second to breathe. So look, they deserved to get top 6 last year. I thought they were fantastic. I thought the manager done an incredible job with their squad, very young squad. But hopefully we've got enough in our squad and we've planned enough around how they're going to come up against us to do the job on Saturday. I don't think I'm 100%, no. But I don't think I can honestly say I've ever been 100% fit in the last 10 years. So I missed obviously a lot of the games. So my game time's down. There's no hiding from that, but it was nice to get out there and play 60 minutes on the weekend. And I could have played a little bit more, but the gaffer ended up dragging me off just to make sure I was okay and protect me, I guess. So look, I've got a few weeks training in me. I've got 60 minutes behind me, and then I feel good, ready to go. It's up to the manager at the end of the day whether he wants to put me into the first game of the season or not.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
Wilson, a little bit of space for Harry Wilson, yes. Strikes a goal, oh, what a goal, it's 3 and it's Harry Wilson. Get him off.
That is superb. Nothing less than what he deserves. That is the class he possesses. We talked earlier in the game about him being able to find pockets of quiet space.
He's this now, and dominating in the half. It's bad luck, can't let him trouble for too long. Whittingham attacking now, got Mason Conway in the area. Finds Gunnison.
What a goal that is! What a goal that is! Aaron Gunnison, 2-2 for the Iceman. Fantastic striker. That is absolutely sensational by Gunnison.
Inside his own half, he plays that long. Shackle heads it away, only to Emmanuel Thomas, turns it in field. Whittingham with the shot. Oh, what a goal from Peter Whittingham! What a way he won't get many better than that. Cardiff City 1, Barnsley 0, 21 minutes gone. Well, it's one of those ones that either go in the top left-hand corner or into the top, into row Z of the Camden stand.
With the Olympics concluding this weekend as our season gets started, we tested Tom Sang on his Olympic trivia. But first, which teammate would make up his five-a-side Olympic team based on these events? Starting with the 100 metres.
100 metre sprinter. It'd probably have to be Gyro. He's absolutely rapid. Yeah, so I'd have to throw him in. You've got to throw Nelson for that. Animal. Yeah, he'd launch that, yeah. He'd head it if it come back at him. Yeah, I'd say Colo. Yeah, wouldn't want to wrestle him. Yeah, no chance. Flinty, because his strokes would be huge. Yeah, a couple of strokes compared to I'd have to have 15 strokes for him to have 2. I know you need someone quick, who's powerful as well. I was going to say, yeah, I'd throw Murphy in for that one. Yeah, 100%.
Now for some trivia questions. Name these countries from their flags.
South Africa, Canada, Australia, Great Britain, Japan.
That was impressive. Time for Name the Olympian. Who's this?
No idea. Yeah, no idea. Oh, is that him, is it? Yeah? Yeah, I know exactly who it is. Oh. I'm so out the loop with it all. I couldn't tell you the name, but I know who she is. Oh God, no idea. Oh yeah.
Next up, name the event. Where would you hear these phrases in commentary?
Singular, is that judo? Wrestling, yeah. Powerlifting, Olympic lifting, yeah. Swimming. Fosbury flop. Oh. Fosbury flop. Is that high jumping? Oh, that's relay.
9 out of 13. That performance deserves a silver medal. And finally, what would be your Olympic event?
400. I'd have myself in the 400, yeah.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Well, shooting opportunity. Oh, it's brilliant. Morrison, goal!
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Cardiff City Stadium on an occasion that feels very, very different and strangely familiar all at the same time. It's been long, far, far too long since we've been able to welcome back a crowd like this, a crowd of any kind, into the main bowl of this stadium, and my word, does it make a difference to proceedings here as we are set for the kick-off of this 21-22 championship campaign with the visit of playoff team from last season, Barnsley, here to the Welsh capital. Let's not forget that for many involved this afternoon with the Bluebirds, this is their first occasion of walking out into this stadium with any fans of any note in attendance, and for them, like us, who have the privilege of broadcasting to you, and those who have the privilege of being here back in attendance this afternoon, it will surely be a special afternoon indeed. Thanks for joining us here on Cardiff City TV. I'm Ashley James. Alongside me this afternoon, my colleague Will Pallow. Will, it's been a long old wait.
It has indeed, and how good has that roar been as the team came out? It was brilliant to hear that. It's been an abnormal year and a half, as Mick McCarthy said in his pre-match, and it's been just so good to get these fans back for this first game of the season.
Two skippers for the afternoon: Aidan Flint for the Bluebirds, Cauley Woodrow for Barnsley. Exchange a fist bump. And ahead of kick-off, and you'll be able to see the banner on your pictures down beneath us in a minute or so's time. We are going to take a moment or so to reflect on those who have sadly passed away in the last 18 months during this pandemic. Obviously, you're a very fortunate person indeed if you haven't been touched by the loss of somebody during this time, and it also gives the Bluebirds the first opportunity as a footballing family to pay tribute to one of our greats, who we obviously lost way back when, just as everything was coming to a halt in terms of football in March 2020, and that's Peter Whittingham, one of the very best to ever wear this club's shirt.
Our friends, our family, they are forever Bluebirds.
A moment of calm and reflection before a cacophony of noise. Would you want anything else? Championship football is back here at Cardiff City Stadium. The Bluebirds then will get us underway. I'll quickly run you through the starting lineup.
It is Dylan Phillips chosen in goals, a back three from right to left of summer signing Mark McGuinness, who joined from Arsenal. Captain for the afternoon, Aidan Flint and Curtis Nelson. No room for Sean Morrison, the club skipper, because of his limited pre-season minutes. He is on the bench though. Tom Sang not fit to go. So Perry and G wins the starting right back berth. It's Joel Bagan at left wing back. Central midfield pairing of Joe Rolls and Marlon Pack, and a front three of summer acquisition Ryan Giles, James Collins and Leandro Bacuna. Bit of a false start there. I think everyone caught up in the emotion of everything else, forgot about we're still under the directive, and the players still have taken the decision to continue taking the knee before kick-off. And judging by the round of applause from the Cardiff fans, something that the home faithful fully endorse, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's just getting back up to speed on certain things, isn't it? It does feel like a long time, and of course to be in front of these fans again and again, that roar when the ball was kicked off, and see